They say that to see is to believe. But this time, everything happened exactly the opposite way. What appeared in the sky did not give people answers. It only intensified the feeling of anxiety and left behind even more questions. From strange shapes hovering over Ohio to lights that moved contrary to all known laws. These real footages literally blew up the internet and forced thousands of people to reconsider their attitude towards what might be hiding above us. And if you watch this until the end, perhaps exactly today will begin the moment when the impossible will cease to seem so distant. Very recently, in the sky above the state of Ohio, something was noticed, which received the name 3 Atlas. And this spectacle instantly caused a wave of discussions. The object moved quietly and confidently, as if not obeying the usual laws of aerodynamics. It looked bright and stable, as if it glided in space without any source of thrust. Later, a second video appeared, filmed from a different point, where the same object was visible under a different angle, which only intensified the interest and added mystery to the happening. Even more unexpected was the fact that the telescope James Webb earlier recorded this object, calling it an interstellar guest. And here arises a question from which it is difficult to wave away. Was it simply space debris, or did something truly alien fly past our planet? If we return a little back to September of the year 2003, at the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa, an event occurred, which until now remains without an explanation. The people who were on the beach noticed a strange object hovering in the sky over the coastline. It remained in one place, barely noticeably glowing against the background of the cloudy sky, as if intentionally attracting attention. Tourists and local residents began to film the happening, trying to understand what exactly was in front of them. Later, the recordings scattered across the network, demonstrating a clear shape resembling a classic flying saucer. And even after years, this episode remains a mystery, to which a definitive answer was never found. The following case caused no less resonance. A cylindrical object was noticed in the sky, which moved along a perfectly straight trajectory, having neither wings nor any visible elements of control. Eyewitnesses could not determine what it is, and the video recording instantly attracted the attention of users around the whole world. Its behavior did not coincide with any single known type of flying apparatuses. And here again arises the question, is it truly something extraterrestrial? Or are we simply not yet ready to acknowledge the level of technologies that already exists right above our heads? No less mysterious turned out to be the case with a triangular object, which appeared in the sky and instantly attracted the attention of everyone who raised their eyes upward. Its clear edges and perfectly synchronized lights at the corners created a feeling of absolute control and precision. The movements were smooth and confident, not similar to any single known flying apparatus. People tried to connect what they saw with drones or secret developments, but not a single one of the versions coincided with what they observed. The object calmly glided across the sky before disappearing into the clouds, leaving behind itself only a feeling of understatement and tense curiosity. One of the most atmospheric cases occurred in Spain, where a tourist who stopped for an overnight stay captured a strange round object, slowly drifting across the night sky. The frames turned out surprisingly clear, especially if we take into account that they were filmed long before the appearance of modern technologies of filming and any tools of artificial intelligence. The object radiated a soft glow and moved along an even trajectory, which completely did not correspond to the behavior of airplanes or helicopters. For many, this video became one of those rare early pieces of evidence, which until now have not lost their mystery and continue to remind that similar phenomena have been observed already for far more than 1 decade. In the city of Palmdale, state of California, one family became the witness of an event, which is difficult to call ordinary. Over their house hovered a strange object, resembling something like a glowing apparatus, which slowly moved in the sky. From it emanated a bright beam of light, directed straight down, illuminating a patch of earth beneath it. People quickly grabbed cameras and began to record the happening, capturing how the soft radiance gradually spreads across the yard. The object did not make abrupt movements. It as if simply hovered, preserving complete calmness, which made the happening even more unreal and alarming. A feeling was created, as if something unusual quietly passed right over their house, leaving behind itself only questions. Sometimes the most strange things happen in the most ordinary moments. During an ordinary meeting of students in the city of Kajum, their attention was attracted by unusual bright lights in the sky. At first it looked like an ordinary airplane, but soon it became clear that everything is not so simple. The lights began to blink in an unusual sequence, forming patterns on a large object, which as if hovered in the air. The atmosphere instantly changed. The conversations quieted down, and the attention completely focused on the happening. One of the students took out a telephone and began to film, while the rest observed in complete silence. Later, a short video scattered across the network, causing a wave of discussions and assumptions about a possible contact with something unknown. In September of the year 2025, the residents of a district near the coast of Guatemala became the witnesses of a truly mysterious phenomenon. In the sky appeared an object of an unusual shape, which smoothly glided, not emitting a single sound. According to the reports of eyewitnesses, a military helicopter Apache, which was observing it, collided with optical interferences as if its systems began to give a failure. The object itself remained in the field of vision for only several moments, after which it slowly disappeared in the distance. When the recordings appeared on the internet, turbulent arguments began. What exactly could have caused a similar interference into the technology? This case quickly became one of the most discussed and mysterious observations of the year. On one of the evenings, a couple returning home noticed something strange right above themselves. In the dark sky hung an object with softly blinking multicolored lights. It did not move, did not drift, did not disappear. It simply remained in one place, as if observing the happening below. The people stopped, not having the strength to take their eyes away, observing how the lights changed shades and rhythm. After some time, the light began to gradually fade, and the object disappeared just as quietly as it appeared. The recorded video quickly dispersed across the network, leaving behind itself the main question: what can so perfectly motionlessly hover in the open sky? The following case caused a real stir on the internet. A video published on social networks showed a huge object hovering over a city at night. Its dimensions clearly exceeded everything that could be taken for an ordinary flying apparatus. Underneath it blinked lights, lining up into specific sequences, and a bright green beam periodically was directed downwards, illuminating the space beneath itself. The object remained absolutely motionless, which only intensified the effect of the unreality of the happening. People began to actively analyze the recording, putting forward versions from secret technologies to a carefully thought-out hoax. But a definitive answer never appeared. For those who until now doubt the existence of unidentified objects, this case can become a turning point. On one of the ordinary days, people noticed in the sky a strange triangular object, which did not correspond to any single known type of technology. Its shape looked too clear, and the reflection of light gave it an almost unreal appearance. It hovered, as if ignoring the laws of physics, and caused instant interest among everyone who saw it. At this moment, among many, for the first time, arose the thought, what if we are truly not alone? The appearance of this object left a strong impression and added weight to the conversations about the existence of something beyond the limits of our understanding. In a small Mexican city occurred a case which seriously frightened the local residents. A powerful storm began to form in the sky, and by itself this already looked alarming. But a real shock was caused by the fact that inside the clouds, a strange light appeared. It was not similar to lightning or any natural phenomenon. It was a uniform, almost conscious glow. Among the people arose a feeling, as if something is hiding inside and controlling the happening. Fortunately, everything lasted not for long, but this turned out to be enough to leave behind itself a feeling that in that moment occurred something much greater than simply a weather phenomenon. Sometimes one accidental observation is capable of completely changing the perception of reality. So, it happened with a man who noticed in the sky a strange object and decided to start recording. In the frame appeared a dark, round apparatus, motionlessly hovering in the air. But most of all, something else amazed. Around it rotated two rings, creating a mesmerizing spectacle, as if before the eyes was unfolding a scene from science fiction. The object moved slowly and smoothly, as if demonstrating its presence, and then gradually dissolved into the clouds. Following this in the sky remained a bright beam of light, stretching for a large distance. This moment looked so unreal that the eyewitness had no doubts left. He became a witness of something stepping beyond the limits of the customary world. During an ordinary walk through the city, one man noticed something unusual over the streets and immediately took out a telephone. In the sky slowly moved a round object with a green glow from below. It did not fly. It as if glided without efforts and without any noise. Users of the network quickly noted that this is not similar either to an airplane or to a drone. Its smoothness and absolute silence created a strange feeling of calmness, which simultaneously caused anxiety. This short fragment became a reason for a multitude of discussions, because no one was able to precisely say what exactly fell into the frame. Sometimes the scale of what is seen by itself becomes the main source of anxiety. In this case, people observed a gigantic object, motionlessly hovering in the open sky. Its shape did not resemble anything from that which could be connected with human technologies. The surface looked complex and detailed, as if created with an exactness inaccessible to us. People stood silently, trying to comprehend the happening, because even to select words for a description was difficult. This moment did not simply surprise, it forced one to ponder over the fact that perhaps we know about the world much less than we are accustomed to consider. The following phenomenon looked like something between a catastrophe and a controlled movement. In the sky appeared an object, which rapidly crossed the space, leaving behind itself a fiery trail. At first glance, this resembled a fall, but its movement was too even and stable. It did not chaotically fall. It moved with a clear trajectory, as if fulfilling a set task. Neither a rocket nor an airplane behave in a similar manner. The object disappeared beyond the horizon, leaving behind itself a bright trail, which for some more time was preserved in the sky. And exactly this strange combination of fire and control became the reason, due to which people until now cannot come to a single explanation. Sometimes a mystery manifests itself not in shape, but in the behavior of light. On one of the evenings, several dim lights began to blink in the sky, gradually attracting the attention of everyone who was located nearby. They, as if lined up into a specific structure, but it was impossible to completely discern it. People continued to film, trying to understand what exactly is happening. Some asserted that this could be an unidentified flying object. Others leaned towards the version of satellites or atmospheric phenomena, but not a single one of the hypotheses gave a complete answer. An ordinary evening turned into a mystery, the discussion of which does not quiet down until now. Sometimes the most unexpected discoveries occur in the most ordinary situations. A family, taking photographs against the background of mountains, did not even suspect that something much more unusual would fall into the lens. Already later, reviewing the photographs, they noticed in the sky a clear disc-shaped object, which quietly flew by in the background. Despite the age of the recording, the details looked distinctly enough to cause doubts. That which began as an ordinary family day unexpectedly turned into an event, which until now causes questions and discussions. Recent frames from China showed a strange white object hovering over the mountains. It looked almost weightless, as if it did not obey the laws of gravity. The object for a long time remained in one place, before slowly beginning to move away and disappear. People called it a white spacer because they could not select a more suitable explanation. Its calm behavior and clear shape made this case especially mysterious, turning a short video into one of the most discussed recordings of recent time. Sometimes a meeting with the unknown occurs at the most unexpected moment. A woman heading towards her automobile became a witness of a bright, fiery sphere which appeared in the sky right above her. At first it hovered, as if evaluating the situation, and then abruptly changed the direction of movement. This looked so unusual that the moment instantly dispersed across the network. Some assumed that this is a malfunctioning drone, Others, that this is something much more mysterious. But not a single one of the versions was able to completely explain the behavior of this object. One of the passengers during an ordinary flight decided to film the landscape outside the window, but instead of clouds in the frame, turned out to be something much more strange. Next to the airplane appeared a metallic object in the shape of a classic flying saucer. It moved calmly and confidently, as if it easily adjusted to the speed of the airliner. Not a single known flying apparatus is capable of a similar behavior. For several seconds, it held itself nearby, after which it smoothly went to the side and disappeared. The video left the viewers in confusion, because to explain such a coincidence and such a precision of movement is extremely difficult. In the sky over Bangkok recently was noticed an object, which momentarily became the center of attention. Its shape differed from everything customary: clear corners, straight lines, as if before the eyes appeared a perfectly aligned box hovering in the air. It did not move abruptly, did not change trajectory. It simply hung, ignoring the laws of customary aerodynamics. From different points of the city, people filmed one and the same phenomenon, which excluded the probability of an error of perception. The videos quickly spread, again raising the question, how much do we in reality not know about what is happening in the sky above us? In the sky over Chengdu in China appeared an object, which immediately attracted the attention of local residents. It moved smoothly and confidently, as if completely controlling its position in space. Its behavior did not coincide with any single known type of drones or flying apparatuses. People began to film the happening, and already after several hours, the video spread across the network. Arguments flared up instantly. Some spoke about an extraterrestrial origin, others tried to find a more rational explanation. But, as it often happens, a definitive answer never appeared. This case became one of the most discussed due to its unusual dynamics. In the sky appeared a bright source of light, from which several glowing spheres began to exit. They slowly flew apart in different directions, at the time when the main object remained motionless. Everything happening looked so unreal that it resembled a scene from a fantastic film. The people observing this phenomenon could not understand whether this is a natural process or something much more complex. The video quickly dispersed across the network, leaving behind itself more questions than answers. In October of the year 2025, in the sky over Cucuta, Colombia, occurred an event which it was impossible to ignore. A woman by the name of Abby filmed bright lights which appeared over the city. They glowed evenly and stably, forming a clear drawing which attracted the attention of everyone around. Automobiles stopped. People went out onto the streets and simply looked upwards. At some moment, the city as if froze, united by one question: what exactly is happening above their heads? This was one of those rare moments when dozens of people simultaneously become witnesses of something that is impossible to explain immediately. The peculiarity of this case consisted in the quantity of witnesses. Over Jerusalem was noticed a glowing object, which simultaneously was recorded by people from different districts of the city. Their descriptions coincided practically down to the details, which made the happening even more convincing. The object for some time remained in place, after which it disappeared in the clouds. Namely, the multiple recordings and the coinciding testimonies made this episode one of the most discussed among those who study similar phenomena. During one of the aviation flights in the year 2020, a passenger noticed a strange glow outside the window and decided to start recording. In the clouds moved an object, which did not blink and did not reflect in the glass, as it usually happens. It preserved a stable position and, it seemed, even followed the airplane over the course of a short time. The video quickly spread, causing turbulent discussions. For many, this became that very rare case, which forces one to take a different look at customary things. On the 1st of February of the year 2021, in the sky over Brazil was noticed a large cigar-shaped object. It moved smoothly, reflecting the sunlight with its metallic surface. Eyewitnesses noted that its movement was too even and controlled for any known apparatus. This case left a strong impression and became one of those which for a long time remain in the memory of everyone who observed them. In January of the year 2020, over the mountains appeared a cylindrical object, which behaved extremely unusually. At first it hovered in the air, as if observing, and then, as soon as the camera zoomed in the image, it hid behind the mountain ridge. After a short time it again appeared, slowly descending. Such behavior looked too conscious to be accidental. This case, until now, remains one of the most strange among the recorded observations. Sometimes the most frightening meetings occur in complete silence. A couple returning home late in the evening noticed in the sky a strange dark object hovering right over the road. In its upper part flickered a solitary light which did not blink like on airplanes, but as if gave its own signal. They slowed down and began to film, observing how the object holds a stable distance, as if accompanying them. It did not emit a single sound and did not resemble any single known apparatus. This short trip turned into a moment, which they will not be able to forget for a long time yet. At first glance, this was an ordinary evening by the sea. People rested, enjoyed the calmness, until in the sky occurred something that momentarily changed the atmosphere. A bright glow appeared, which began to swirl, creating an effect as if the space itself is opening up. Eyewitnesses began to film the happening, calling this a possible portal. Others assumed that this could be the result of some secret experiment. But whatever the explanation was, this moment turned an ordinary evening into a scene, which more resembled frames from science fiction. One of the most unusual episodes occurred with a tourist exploring the hills. He noticed in the sky a metallic object in the shape of a saucer, which slowly moved in the direction of a glowing ring, hovering right in the air. The object approached and literally entered into this ring, after which it completely disappeared. After several seconds, the ring itself also dissolved, as if there was nothing. The video quickly scattered across the network, and people again and again reviewed this moment, trying to understand whether such a thing is possible in reality. On one of the quiet roads of Las Vegas, a man filmed a strange phenomenon happening in the night sky. Behind the clouds hid a huge object, but its presence was given away by rows of lights breaking through the fog. These lights did not blink chaotically. They formed a clear drawing, as if they were a part of a complex system. The object remained in place, not moving, which only intensified the tension of the happening. The video left behind itself a feeling that on that night over the city could be located something much greater than it seems. In Arizona was recorded a case which looks like a real chase. In the sky appeared a glowing object, which was followed by a helicopter. Their movements cardinally differed. The helicopter moved predictably at the time when the object changed trajectory, as if ignoring physics. At some moment, an impression was created that the pilot is trying to understand the behavior of this object. If this video is authentic, it can become one of the most striking examples of a collision with the unknown in the air. Over the Shunyi district in Beijing appeared something that caused a real panic among the eyewitnesses. A huge object hovered in the sky, and people could not understand what exactly they are seeing. The video was accompanied by an emotional reaction of the witnesses, which only intensified the effect of the happening. The filming was made by a person known on the network, which added interest to this case. Now people are arguing, is this a real phenomenon or simply a successful illusion? During a powerful thunderstorm in Vietnam occurred something that stands out from the customary natural phenomena. At the moment of a flash of lightning in the sky became visible a rounded object, which calmly hovered over the clouds. The camera continued to film, recording how each new flash illuminates its silhouette. This looked as if the object is observing the happening, and exactly this feeling became the main source of anxiety for those who saw the recording. Sometimes the mystery turns out to be closer than it seems. In one of the videos is visible a bird flying through the sky, but with an unusual detail. On it is secured a blinking light. It remains stable over the duration of the entire flight, creating a strange combination of the natural and the mechanical. The video caused a multitude of discussions because no one could precisely explain what exactly was recorded. A group of people sitting in a cafe unexpectedly noticed an object hovering right over them. It did not move abruptly, did not make noise. It simply was located in the air, barely shifting. Under it softly flickered lights, creating an unusual glow. People began to film the happening, trying to record that, which it was difficult to explain with words. This moment became one of those, which for a long time do not leave the head. A video filmed during a trip showed a huge metallic object hovering in the air. Its surface reflected the surrounding environment so naturally that it looked absolutely real. This did not resemble a cheap montage. On the contrary, everything looked too convincing. Namely, because of this, the video caused such a wave of discussions, because the boundary between reality and illusion here turned out to be practically unnoticeable. The frames filmed in Buenos Aires became some of the most discussed over the recent time. A couple was moving along the road when next to their automobile appeared a huge object. It flew at the same speed with the car, as if intentionally holding a distance. Its surface looked metallic, with clearly distinguishable panels and strange depressions, which it was impossible to attribute to any single known type of technology. The object moved absolutely noiselessly, not leaving any traces. This moment turned out to be so close and detailed that the viewers until now argue, could this really be one of the clearest proofs of the existence of something beyond the limits of our understanding? A recent video from the state of Delaware caused a real splash of interest. In the sky appeared several lights, which moved not chaotically, but strictly aligned, as if they followed a set algorithm. They did not resemble either airplanes or drones or reflections. Their rhythm was too precise, and the shape too organized to be accidental. People observing this tried to find an explanation, but each new version only intensified the feeling that in front of them is something unknown. And if this video forced you to doubt the customary reality, even for a second, it means you already began to see more than earlier. Subscribe to the channel in order not to miss new mysterious findings, which can change your representation about the world. Ahead are even more stories from which it is impossible to tear yourself away.